Hola, ¿cómo estás? It's me, Kadyra. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Spanish Conmigo Valley. Okay, let's talk about what would I do if I had to start over and I'm a beginner, okay, in Spanish. What would I do? I think the first thing I would do is, of course, we use YouTube, okay? And still, my favorite YouTuber for beginners is the Spanish dude, okay? He breaks things down, and he has a back end, right? If you become a member, and his membership is for lifetime. So I love being a lifetime member of his community, right? And he not only breaks down verbs, he breaks down ser versus estar, and he does it in English, because sometimes we get stuck in certain like, what are you talking about? It just doesn't even make sense, certain things. It's just like reflexes isn't natural to us normally, right? And he has a way of saying, yes, I understand this problem. He breaks it down for us to like, oh my God, that's how you do it. And it's so helpful for beginners, right? And his back end, he even have like conjugation sheets. He starts with conjugation sheets. He starts the first day, he starts off with, you know, where do we even start as a beginner? I love him for beginners. If I was, a beginner, I'd go right back and I'd still become a member of what the Spanish do, because I adore him. Now, I love Spanish for Paul, and I love the free program, and that's the reason why now I have purchased all of his programs that he sells, right? And his programs sells individually for basically $99, and it's like a year lease to his program. And some beginners have it, and some beginners don't, right? If you use it either way from the back end is great because it's very organized. But either you use the free program on YouTube, his sentences are long, right? And you might think, I would never be able to speak these long sentences to hold all the Spanish inside me as a beginner, okay? So, but you love his pace. Beginners love his pace. So think of every time he has a long sentence, cut those sentences into 2 sentences or 3 sentences for yourself, okay? Schedule yourself. I always make schedules for myself. Right now, my schedule is I'm doing speaking, and translation. That's what I'm doing every day. I literally watching our subtitles with my teacher, and we go through it, right? So, if anything I'm missing, we talk about it, right? That's what I'm doing right now, because, I'm an emotional learner. I just was not into drills at this time, and I said I needed to do something else, and I could not, of course, stop. So that's what I'm doing. But for beginners, keep it small. Make yourself a schedule. When they say 30 minutes a day or 30 minutes at a time, I think that is perfect for beginners, because I'm telling you, after 30 minutes, you actually will feel mentally exhausted. If you were sitting there trying to conjugate hablar, conjugate ser, conjugate caminar, right? And you're sitting there doing this, after 30 minutes, you feel like probably taking a nap. So 30 minutes, okay. Now, if you're a true beginner, you're not sure, try to do it 4 times a week. So you can at least do 2 hours, right? But on the 5th day, at the 5th time, sit there and even with your phone, sit there and say this, and speak. This is what I did this week. I conjugated caminar. I conjugated hablar. I conjugated desear. I wrote down 30 nouns, right? I wrote down 1 emotion, and try a small sentence, like me gusta mi gato, me gusta mi casa, me gusta pizza, me gusta mi familia, right? Just say super small, short sentences. You have spoken Spanish. It doesn't matter if it's 4 words. You have spoken Spanish. You did a great job, for a real great job, because it's so scary to say this out loud and feel like, do I sound okay? Okay? Yes, that's what I would do for my beginners. Don't demand anything of yourself. Okay, you're learning. So for right now, I really don't like tests for beginners, right? Because once you test and you feel like, I failed the test, I know I studied it and I didn't show what I studied, right? That's why I'm suggesting for beginners, if you like to do your 2 hours a week, on that fifth day, reward yourself. Sit there and talk about it. That's your test. So you can see what you've done, okay? And after a month, you realize you have done 8 hours of Spanish with your real life having to continue. And you may decide at the end of the month, I could add another hour. I could add another 2, right? But you also know by just speaking, you watch those videos. At the end of the month, watch your videos of what you're just talking about, what you know. You realize, goodness, I learned something, and I learned a lot. So that's what I would do if I was a beginner. Okay? That's me. Yes. And I want you to do it. I want you guys to get started. I want someone to practice with. I want someone to communicate to. I want someone to hang out with you. We're all, I will be a lifelong student of Spanish, and that is totally okay with me. So anyway, this is Kadyra from Spanish Conmigo. This is for our beginners. I love you guys. I adore you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Besos y abrazos.